Mr. Chairman, and thank you, each of our witnesses, for being here. It's my understanding from your testimony, what you've shared at this point, yes or no, would you agree that if the sanctions are lifted, that Iran will most likely probably use a significant portion of that revenue to advance their military strategy?
I concur with that, sir.
I do as well.
Okay.
Absolutely, yes.
Yes, I think you'll use some of it to gain military power.
All right. Dr. Bushy, let me go with you. Any idea how many American lives have been lost since 2001 in Iraq and Afghanistan?
Total is up about 8,000, I think.
Okay. Any idea how many have been killed by specifically Iranian activity?
The number that gets batted around that the General mentioned, up around 1,500, is generally associated with the use of the Iranian-provided shaped penetrators, the sort of enhanced IEDs that were provided to specifically the Shia militias. I think you need to go a little beyond that, because it's not just the IEDs that kill people. There were bullets that killed people. Sure. There were advanced sniper rifles that were given to those same Shia militias by Iran that also killed American service members. So I would guess it's more than the 1,500 that people generally quote.
All right, so if you had to give one weapon, what's the key weapon that's been used against Americans?
The enhanced penetrating IEDs.
Okay, is that produced in Iran?
Absolutely.
Okay. In an interview with the British paper, The Telegraph, there were a couple of British military officers who allegedly said that Iran had paid Taliban fighters $1,000 each for each American soldier that they killed in Afghanistan. Is this accurate?
I have not seen proof of that, Congressman, but I have seen pretty good proof that the Iranians were paying the Taliban salaries, in some cases over $500 a month, which is a pretty hefty salary in Afghanistan. So whether they were doing it as a direct bounty or just the general funding of their operations, it's still pretty significant.
All right, so they're funding the Taliban soldiers against us. In your experience, what's the greatest threat Iran poses to American ground forces?
The exportation of terrorism around the Middle East. None of our people are essentially safe anywhere in the Middle East that the Quds Force can reach them, and that's pretty much the entire region.
Would you agree that regardless of an agreement being reached, that Iran is still going to be a threat to both American interests and our allies?
Not only is it my opinion that they will be so, Congressman, the Iranians have said they will be. They have said they will not back off on any of those type of operations or policies, regardless of this agreement.
Specifically, what kind of threat does Hezbollah pose to Israel?
They are the supplied, the best equipped, the best organized. While they're tied up in Syria right now, that's frankly gaining them additional equipment and experience that they could then turn around and apply against Israel. So they are by far the biggest threat.
And I would assume that same threat would carry over to America as well.
Oh, definitely.
All right. So what level of support has Iran contributed to the funding, training, support, so forth of Hezbollah?
They're pretty much 100% of Hezbollah's support comes directly from Iran.
So is it fair to say that, at least in your opinion, if the sanctions are lifted, Hezbollah is going to see a significant boost in its financial backing?
They will benefit Hezbollah, Hamas, and other terrorist groups around the Middle East. They will all gain from this largesse of the Quds Force. Okay.
Dr. Shanzer, you had mentioned a while ago, and I'd like to get a little more information about Hice. Can you give a little bit more information as to what that is?
Absolutely. That is a $95 billion fund owned by the Supreme Leader, Ali Khamenei. It includes a big chunk of the Iranian stock market, I think 5 or 10%. On top of that, significant real estate holdings, international holdings as well. We had sanctions on it. It's set to be delisted now as a result of this deal.
Okay. Again, I want to thank you for being here, each of you, and my time has expired. I appreciate it very much. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.